Well, it's been a while. It's been busy. Started working on Fridays again for a while. Every now and then I have a real estate shoot to do on Fridays as well. So it kind of takes up my time for getting out, getting some landscape shots. But today, I've got all the free time in the world. So I came up to Mount Rainier National Park, first time this year. Of course, I haven't really gotten out much at all this year. I don't know why, I just haven't really had the motivation to do much. I did some things in the city a few times, as far as like getting up at 2 a.m. so I can try and shoot the sunrise. Just hasn't really interested me this year. But maybe soon I'll get back at it. So I'm heading up to Comet Falls. Hopefully the sun will go away. There are some broken clouds here and there, but shooting waterfalls in the sun just isn't that great. All the highlights are blown out. Shadows are super dark. So that's why it's better to shoot them in cloudy days, rainy days, things like that. So it is 3.8 miles round trip to the falls. So nothing bad. Hopefully it's not too high of elevation gain, but it doesn't really matter if it is. Otherwise, see what else is going on. We got a new bicycle, so I've been riding that a lot. Been a lot of fun. Hitting some gravel roads. Otherwise, hopefully I'll find some interesting forest scenes on my way up, so I can stop and shoot those. If not, I'll get to the falls and see what happens. And I think on my way back down, I'll probably head up over Paradise, down towards Chinook Pass, hit Tipsoo Lake, see what the view's like there, and go from there. Well, this trail's a little steeper than I thought, but that's all right. Fortunately, I'm just not in hiking shape. Spending all spring and early summer and winter skiing and cycling, not hiking. But it's really pretty though. Tons of other little waterfalls everywhere. So hopefully I'm almost there. So for those of you that don't know, it's a little trick when you're hiking. I usually wear like swimming trunks because they're just very comfortable and move easy. But if you don't have those, if it's cooler and you're wearing some pants like I am today, if you want to stay dry, unzip the fly. That way the air can travel through your pants, keep you cooler, keep you drier. People may look at you funny, but that's all right. So we are, that looks like a little Y in the river. Little bridge you can see here. So, don't think I'm all that far from the falls. Ooh, there's some falls up above there. I'll show you those when I get to the bridge here. looks like I made it. Now I just need to get down and figure out a good place to shoot this from, because that upper one is tall, so that could be a problem. But yeah, actually it's just getting down is going to be the problem. Doesn't look to be any clear path, but we'll see if I can scramble down. Hopefully not trip and fall. That would kind of suck. Not sure how well you can hear me with the waterfall behind me, but it's pretty spectacular. Hard to get a good shot though, because there's a lot of mist coming off it. So I have to like wipe my lens and then hold my lens cover over it. And then right before it takes photo, I remove it. Oh, look at that. And it's getting mist all over this lens too. See if I can clear that off there. There we go. So I'm gonna keep walking around, keep finding compositions. It is a pretty cool waterfall, so should be able to get something good. I am bracketing 2 stops above and below the standard exposure. So hopefully I won't get too wet, but that's all right. It's not that far to get up here. I'll get back to my car where I can get some dry clothes on. Came up to the upper part of the waterfall, to the big section. So what I'm gonna do now is I put on my 70 to 200 lens. I'm just gonna take some really fast shutter photos and just kind of get the water falling. Just really show the motion of the water and the power. And then also if you look at like the rocks down there, how the water splashes off them, I'll focus in on there as well. And see what I can get there. Just some nice abstract photos. So we're back from the field of the waterfall up in Mount Rainier. Just want to go over some quick edits with you guys. Looking at this waterfall, because there's no real vegetation around it, I'm really looking at black and white for this one. So to get started, let's go ahead and remove chromatic aberration, enable profile correction. Shows my Tamron 24 to 70. And then we'll come over here. Let's just go ahead and which one do we like here? These are just Lightroom presets. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. These just kind of make it easy. Let's see, what else do we have here? Black and white basic, you know. Let's see, what's going on? My computer's running ridiculously slow right now. Oh, let's just do a simple one. So you can also just come up here, click black and white, and I'll make it like that. And then let's go ahead. Actually, let's bring up the highlights because we really want to. We'll bring down the shadows, which is kind of the opposite of normal. Let's see what our blacks do. But we really want to kind of increase the blacks. Just kind of make it a dark, mysterious photo. Let's increase the contrast. But actually, I'm actually going to bring down the highlights. All right, maybe not. This is not working out like I was hoping. We'll bring them up, that way it really highlights the water leading up through the photo. Let's add some texture to the whole thing. And then let's go ahead and add a vignette. Let's see, so let's drag in a vignette here. Now we're going to add some atmosphere to it. So let's do a radial filter. Kind of bring that down, something like this. We'll rotate it just a touch to kind of match the waterfall here. And then bring down the exposure. So let's add some haze to it. And it'll just kind of add like a mist, like it was a bunch of mist coming off here. Now, I also found you want to kind of decrease your exposure just a little bit when you add haze. So we'll go something like that. I think that looks pretty good. So we'll go ahead and click down on that. Now let's take a brush. Not so much interested in the exposure, but let's really drag the clarity down. Now I'll kind of smooth out the water here. Make my brush a little smaller. Add that, kind of brush it up into here. Now, if you're curious about where you brush, you just click the Show Selected Mask Overlay. Click on that and you can see anything that's red is where your brush has been. So we can go ahead and turn that off. Now if we come up here and go to 1:1 ratio, let's drag this down into this area here. Wait for it to focus, of course. Computer's just kind of having a mind of its own today. I don't know what's going on. Can't blame Windows because it's a Mac. Oh, there we go. Alright, so if we just turn this on and off. So that's off. That's on. So see, it just kind of smooths it out a little bit. Still see a little bit of texture, but it did smooth it out. So we'll call that done. And actually, I think this one's about done. I kind of like it, just as is. So, and then the other ones, when I was up at the upper falls, just doing some abstract stuff. You can see like this one here. Let's go ahead and reset this. This is straight out of camera. You can see ISO 1000 because I really wanted to freeze the water. I didn't want any movement in it. 1/1250th of a second shutter speed, 200 millimeters. So let's go ahead and work on this. Let's bring up the exposure to kind of really bring up the whites. Let's bring down the black. Make it more blue. Add some contrast. Something like that. Now if we take the clarity slider and drag it backwards, you can see how it just softens everything. Or if you drag it up, really makes it sharp. That's all up to you. I kind of like it soft, but you can still, if you zoom in, you can still see all the texture. So if you drag it up, it really brings out the texture. I'll just kind of drag it down a little bit. Because it's just an abstract photo, so it's bring up the shadows, you can bring down the shadows. So if we add vibrance, it will add some blue. If we add kind of dehaze a little bit, add a little bit more blue. But you can see here, if I zoom in, see how it's kind of purple and green all throughout. So if you just drag up your noise reduction, the color, that'll take care of a lot of that. Let's just get rid of the sharpening aspect. You can see how it's almost gone now. Then you can bring up the detail and just kind of get rid of all that. And with something like this, remove the chromatic aberration just in case there is some somewhere. But otherwise, I don't care about the profile, so I'm not really concerned with that. Let's add a vignette just to kind of bring it in. Then if you wanted to, you can just use like a brush. Bring the clarity back, bring up the exposure, pretty big brush. Just kind of brush down. Just go a little bit smaller here, just kind of highlight that little strip there. Maybe a little bit there, kind of a little bit there. Just a little bit. And if you want to, you can add a new brush, but this time drag the exposure down. And you can just drag it in where it's supposed to be a little darker. Something kind of like that. So you can see before, after. I think we'll call that one done. Like I said, it's just an abstract. Simply you can do whatever you want with it. Doesn't have to be sharp, doesn't have to be focused, because it is what it is. So anyway, those are a couple shots I took. one of the waterfall and one of just an abstract of the upper falls. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Instagram is RandyBot Photography, and thanks for watching.